Good afternoon, Korea. It is Wednesday, September 2nd, a little afternoon. DJ Siegs, also known as Senior Airman Austin Siegel. The bird is the word. And ladies and gentlemen,
경기도 해수업습 2020년 8월 26일 8시 26분 일일 후 8번 중부 확진자 발생 세보동선 파악 중입니다. 남성역에 127번 신입버스 71자 1793 꽃바위태화 달령 노선 내 울산광역시 울산.
On your Wednesday morning, and yes, we're talking about some of the world's dumbest criminals. This one going stateside once again, although a little bit further up north, because this woman was arrested in Illinois. So, well, actually, she might have been arrested in between Illinois and Minnesota, real close to that area. Either way, though, she happened to be driving along after she'd had a few to drink. And by a few, I mean they found her with an open bottle of whiskey in her passenger seat at about 9:30 in the evening, and she was passed out in a gas station parking lot with that there. So the gas station ended up contacting the local police department. They talked to her for a little bit, and she had attempted to fill her vehicle up from a kerosene pump rather than a gasoline pump, and they said she was falling apart pretty much. She was barefoot, her clothing was coming off, and she was just in total disarray. So she then told the police that she was staying in hotels in Illinois. She had dropped her 15-year-old son off in Indiana so he could party on spring break, and then she told them that she had 11 children, and stated that she could not find them. So that's concerning enough as it is. I mean, just 11 kids, you're not taking care of them, let alone the fact that you can't find them. You're lost yourself trying to fill your car up with kerosene. So the police decided to search the area for signs of potentially missing and exploited children. They didn't find any, but when they arrested her, she started becoming really combative, fighting with them a lot, and finally the police managed to get a fingerprint off of her and confirm her identity. And they found that she had a list of warrants for DUIs all over the country. She'd been issued 3 warrants for Nebraska, Idaho, and Oregon, and had been arrested 6 times. 6 times! In 6 states. These included Kentucky, Wisconsin, Indiana, California, Oregon, and Minnesota. She's been quoted as being one of the worst DUI offenders in history. One of her arrests also included an incident where she was arrested in Rochester, Minnesota, while driving drunk with 5 of her 11 kids in the back seat. The children were all the way from 9 years old down to an infant, and they were in the car with her, and she even kept driving after nailing a guardrail and getting a flat tire from that too. So they arrested her for her many DUI and DWI charges, as well as child endangerment charges throughout Minnesota and the country. And, well, hopefully her kids are off to a better place, and she has not gotten behind the wheel again. So let's keep our fingers crossed on that one and hope she gets better, and that, like I said, her kids are in a better place. And remember to, don't drink and drive. That's the best thing I can tell you right now. It's a dumb idea. Ends out terribly every single time. Doesn't matter how good you are at driving and how good you think you are at driving, or how well you think you can hold your alcohol. Just remember, if you've had anything to drink, don't get behind the wheel. Stay where you are, get a ride, anything like that. Grab a cab. It's that simple. On a different note, just a quick reminder that Typhoon Maysike is heading towards all of South Korea, and like the last typhoon, it brings in some high winds and rain, which we're expecting to hit here at Camp Humphreys starting early tomorrow morning. Because we are in T-Court 2 right now in Area 3, as well as Areas 1, 2, and 5, which means that yes, we will be seeing those winds and rain within 24 hours. To go with that, in Area 4, you are still in T-Core 1, and in Area 7, you're in T-Core Caution. T-Core 1, meaning that you're expecting to see those winds within 12 hours, and T-Core Caution, meaning that winds gusting between 35 and 49 knots are already occurring. So make sure you are doing whatever you can to just be ready, be prepared, and that you are being cautious with whatever it is that you are doing. And on top of that, also note that if you're responsible for any facilities, especially ones that are flood prone, make sure you have started your preparations, or at least that you are starting preparations now if you haven't already. Here on Camp Humphreys, if you need sandbags, you can pick them up at the Self-Help Supply Store, which...
사고 나갈 지역입니다.
So the fact that people do this as a common thing is really what's kind of baffling me here, because the self-harm aspect is if you've already been caught, or, you know, like, face the music at the very least. And I'm not going to say, you know, coward's way out or anything like that. It's just the fact that there are better ways to go about things. You know, it's better to be alive. So remember that, and remember too that if you are having trouble with anything, you know, it doesn't matter what what it might be. There are still people that would like to see you here on this earth and would like to see you doing okay. Just make sure you seek help for that. Make sure you go talk to any resources. If you need to talk to a chaplain, talk to your friends and family or anything like that. You know, if you've been worrying about something's on your mind, just make sure you're going and using those resources to their fullest extent, because they're there for you. Okay? And to go with that, on a different note here, speaking of something that is still very important to go with those resources for your mental health, make sure that you are observing hygiene standards no matter what you're doing, where you're going, and who you're talking to. So this means washing your hands, wearing a mask, social distancing, and sanitizing when you need to and where you need to, because we want to get back to living our normal lives as soon as possible. I know we're all sick of this. We're all sick of being, you know, cooped up, stuck on HB Con Charlie, and, you know, having to worry about a global pandemic. But the better we do with this, the sooner it'll go away. So we just have to be consistent, and we have to stay vigilant. All right? Remember that. And for now, stay tuned, because I'm going to have your weather and your currency exchange right after this.
USFK will be using a mass notification system for COVID-19 updates. Messages sent will be labeled as urgent, priority, or routine. We encourage service members and all USFK associated personnel to ensure their cell phone numbers are registered correctly to receive the latest updates via text message from the USFK alert system. Format for cell phone numbers should be +82-10 and the last 8 digits of your phone number. Again, that format is +82-10 and the last 8 digits of your phone number. When registering your phone number, the page works best using Internet Explorer. To access the mass notification link, go to the USFK Facebook page.
You look a bit under the weather.
The weather
never changes.
Hopefully you aren't looking a bit under the weather, because that's exactly what I have for you right now, brought to you by the 607th Weather Squadron. Right now, Camp Casey and Yongsan, both 79 degrees. Osan and Camp Humphreys, 77 degrees. Kunsan, 78. Daegu, 81. To go with that, in the Osan Humphreys area, we still have a good AQI of 17, keeping us in the green category.
시속
Down at Daegu, you
60km
finally have a good
구간입니다.
AQI, sitting at 34, also keeping you, or at least putting you into the green. Enjoy that fresh air. It's finally rolled its way towards you. And your currency exchange brought to you by the DOG Community Bank. That $1 will get you 1,155 Korean won. So remember that if you need to exchange any cash. And thank you for having tuned in with me for my blog. You know, I always appreciate having you hang around, because I wouldn't be here without you, and because I'm here for you. And I ask that you stay tuned for next hour, because you're going to be getting a real treat with the rest of the day and DJ Seeds. But for right now, we're going to roll you back into your music. It's Tyga and Offset with Taste, right here on AFN The Eagle, serving America's best.